Let's get ready for Monday Mortgage Minute with your hosts, Tom McNamara and Bruce Woodburn.
Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Tom. Hope you had a great weekend. Got a lot of things going on. We're hitting the end of the year, holiday season. Everybody's out shopping right now.
Absolutely.
So we got a lot to cover this morning.
Yeah, we sure do. Hey, so, the first thing, obviously, we want to remind everybody that, even though we're both here in Orlando, Florida, we can both serve our customers anywhere in the country.
All 50 states.
All 50 states. So, just want to let everybody know, in case you're wondering, hey, these guys are down in Orlando. Yeah, that's great, but we can help you anywhere. So,
absolutely, we can.
Now, this is specific to Florida, though. Hometown Heroes. I'm wondering how much is left, because I think at the beginning of last month it was like 38 million.
Yeah, it's down to about 10 or 11 million dollars right now.
Okay, so we thought it was going to go really, really, really fast.
It went a little slower than I thought, because I think just people are sitting on the sidelines, and I don't understand why, because rates have dipped a little bit. Yeah. And Hometown Heroes gives people even below average interest rates. So right now I was looking at, these are Friday's rates, but because they're not out yet for this morning, but they were running between 6.75 and 7.125, depending on what type of loan you're getting and whether you are falling under certain income limits that give you extra benefits to the interest rate. But
compare that to like an FHA or a conventional. Is it like a quarter?
Well, your standard FHA loans right now are going to run 7.25%. A conventional loan's going to be 6.99 with good credit, up to about 7.25%. But if you recall, it was just about 45 days ago, we were punching into the eights for a while. We've dropped a point in interest rate. The bond market has done exceptionally well. Now, Friday, we're not out yet for today, but Friday, started off a little ugly. We started off on off by 53 basis points on the bond market. That's a negative. So that would mean whatever your rate was on Friday morning, it would have been a half a point higher to the discount right off the bat.
Right. So you'd have to pay more to get the rate. Is that?
You have to pay more to get the same rate. That's right. Okay. So $500 per every $100,000 is about what that cost you on Friday. Now, today, and that was because consumer sentiment just came out a little bit higher than was expected. And, these kind of things can ebb and flow a little bit. But we've been on a positive trend. So things are getting a little bit better.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, it's, I think 6 to 7% has been the historical average forever.
It's actually lower. It's actually a little bit lower. Average over about 45 years has been about 7.6%. So we're under. It's just that people got spoiled. Buyers got spoiled with the 3% interest rates. Sellers got spoiled because they could sell a house in one day. Okay. Now I'm seeing sellers panic when a house hasn't got an offer in 3 weeks. Okay. I'm like, that's not too
I gotta
long,
say,
okay? You're okay with that.
Some wood, man. My last 4 listings have gone under contract in less than 4 days.
Yeah. Well, that's why people should hire you to represent them, because you will price that home to sell and you will market that home to sell better than the average agent. You got to remember, Tom, the average agent is only selling maybe 4 or 5 homes in a year, right? You're selling 4 or 5 homes in a month. Okay. You do a lot more business than the average person does.
That's true.
So the average realtor does. And that's the same with me. I mean, mortgage business is way down right now, but my closings are still quadruple what the average loan officer would close in a month. Right. So maybe more than quadruple, but that's because of the level of service that we provide for our clients and our business partners. So that's the difference right there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a gift from Fannie Mae. Now, they reassess the median income and then determine what a average loan amount should be, or what a maximum loan amount could be, and still fall within conforming loan limits, meaning Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loan limits. And it went up to from 746 to 766, 500. Now,
Okay.
if the loan amount, now this is incredible because when I got into this business, it was like $150,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and FHA was like $52,000. So this is a big deal. We're well into $750,000 on a loan amount here, or close
Yep.
to it, which allows you, think about this, with 5% down on a mortgage, just 5%, you could buy an 807 house and still get a conventional loan with 5% down.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
It is. It is pretty incredible. So Fannie Mae is conventional, right?
Correct.
That's
Fannie and Freddie are considered to be conventional loans, also called conforming because they conform to their guidelines.
And then the other major type of loan, right? FHA, they have a loan
FHA
limit
and
increase as well.
VA really doesn't have a loan limit
No
anymore.
loan limit. Yeah, I know.
Trump
Yeah.
got rid of that. It's all you can go 100% financing on a VA loan up to 1.5 million, 5% down at 2 million. I mean, you can do low money down, super jumbo loans on VA, but FHA still has their limits. So they just raised their limits up to 498,257. Now, where they come up with that number, I have no idea, but somebody in the government, and they're so much smarter than you and I are.
Oh, of course,
so somebody in the government decided they need that $7 extra.
258 would be a massive problem, but 257, you're good.
Yeah, right. We're good. Yeah, we wouldn't want to go that way. We wouldn't want to even it off just even to 260, right? But 498, 257 loan amount. Now, there allows you to buy a $517,000 house with 3.5% down. That's pretty incredible stuff.
So, because of FHA, a lot of people think that FHA is a first-time home buyer loan, or that it's low income loan, but that's not really the case.
No, it's a low down payment loan.
Right.
The mortgage insurance on that, if you had marginal credit, is much lower than a conventional loan. It's not an inferior loan product, but it does have more flexible guidelines. You can go a little higher in debt ratio. It's just a little bit more forgiving than most loans, conventional loans for that matter, even VA, and definitely more forgiving than, say, a USDA that's 100% financing. And they will follow the Fannie Mae's limits for USDA. The problem is it's misleading because there's income limits for USDA loans, and you couldn't buy an $800,000 house and qualify for the income. You'd have to have 97 children and have them all as a tax write-off to be able to make that kind of money.
Yeah. So, it's misleading, right?
It is a little misleading. Yeah.
The other thing that we were talking about, I don't know if you remember this last week, we were talking about, because I have a lot of people that are, buyers, right, or potential buyers they're like, hey, I'm waiting, I'm saving up a down payment and those kind of things. And, we kind of ran through some scenarios and ran through some numbers where buying a house today with 3.5 or 5% down, depending on what you can get, and versus waiting 3 to 5 years to save up that 20%, $100,000, right? And how much appreciation you're going to miss out on.
Well, you think about this. If you bought a $500,000 house and you had to put 20% down, that's $100,000.
$100,000, yeah.
There's no such thing as a first-time home buyer putting down. The only time I see people putting money of that size down are when they just sold another house. Right. People don't save that kind of money typically. Now, it's just uncommon.
There's always the exception, but it's not.
But I'll tell you something. You do the numbers on this, and we could ad nauseum this to death, but I will tell you, if you bought a $500,000 house and you put 5% down, that's $15,000, right? And what's that? 5% down, $25,000, right? Sorry. Your return on your investment on that $500,000 house at 3%. At 3% is $15,000, I believe it is, if I do the math correct.
Yep.
So you've got a substantial, like a 65% return on your investment. Take that same scenario on an FHA loan
Mhm.
and do the same thing on that. If you put 3.5% down and and you had 3% appreciation, you have an 86% return on your investment. And that's pretty substantial. Now, granted, we can factor in, but you're going to have a higher payment than if you
You have a
put
higher
20%
payment.
down. The problem
Mhm.
is the 20% down buyer can only do that if they're coming to the table with a bunch of money. Don't
Right.
wait to save up to, like, when I have a client go, well, I'd really just like to put 20% down. Well, you'll be out of the market for a long time, because if
Right.
we add up how much you're able to save per month right now, you will be 98 years old before you can buy a house.
Well, and then you're really chasing the market on that, because that house is going to be more expensive, which means it's 20% of a higher number. So now you need to save even more money.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And that's my point. Don't ever wait. The faster you get into buying real estate, the better off you are. There is no such thing as a rich renter. I've never met one. Only Elon Musk, and I've
Elon
never
Musk,
met him in person.
he's your
He's the
exception.
only guy out there that's super mega rich and he rents. Okay.
There you
But
go.
he probably owns the building he's renting from. God knows.
Yeah. Well, hey man, listen, we went a minute over, but I really appreciate your time every Monday morning, and
Yep.
next week we
Anybody
should be able to
needs
do it
a
again.
great real estate agent, give Tom a call. Great option, all 50 states. You want help with your mortgage, whether you're a real estate agent, a builder, somebody looking to buy or refinance, give me a call. I'm always there to help you.
Bruce, you've always been there for me and all my customers, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Have a great week.
All right, you too. See you next
Yeah.
week.
Happy holidays to everybody.